Good morning and welcome back to Introduction to Education. We are going to take a step back and take a look at the elements of Chapter 6, what makes a teacher effective. I'm going to go on Canvas conferences at 11 o'clock during our regular class time. Hopefully that works. It has proven that my internet here is not adequate to handle huge narrated PowerPoint pieces. I want you to look at the rephrased learning objective for today. After reading many of the sample lesson plans that were submitted for the first couple of parts, I see that many of you do need to do some revisions. So the grades were not put in. Some were well done. You have to work on your objectives and your standards again. And as we go further, we'll talk some more. When we talk about reflection in terms of teaching, what you're going to hear and see through this PowerPoint slide would be my reflections. I know that our last meeting was not effective in terms of the new technology in the classroom, and so I don't feel that what you saw and heard was effective. So I did want to go back and go through this a little bit. I'd like you to use this time that we're all going to have in working on your observation journal. Many of you have completed a significant number of hours, so I'd like you to go beyond the first 3 observation journal entries. Keep in mind that you do have to use textual support throughout, and numbers 7 and 8, special ed and RTI, might have to be totally reference-based instead of a reflective piece, but you can talk about what you would have liked to have seen. All right, let's take this step back together, looking at Danielson's domains for effective teaching. The planning and preparation, classroom environment, instruction and assessment strategies, and professionalism. Now, if you think in terms of everything that occurred up to our spring break before COVID-19 really did change everything, all of these are very easily seen. You can also now look at it in terms of post-change, all right, and how the teacher had to go about planning to send material home with the students. You know that assessment is not going to be as ongoing as it had been, which determines how the teacher plans for instruction. The classroom environment now has changed dramatically. Most children are home in their own houses, hopefully working on some schoolwork and not just parked in front of a TV or in front of their computer screen or their iPads. Right? Hopefully they are truly spending a few hours every day doing their academic work. The instruction and assessment strategies, if it's being done online, can still be quite effective, but that one-on-one instance of literally seeing someone face-to-face does change. And I have to be perfectly honest, I miss looking out and seeing your reaction to a lot of the things that I put together. And lastly, professionalism. That's what this is all about. Teachers have got to be professional as we go into this. The expectations for them right now are so incredibly high. Again, looking at this piece from the EdTPA, these are the different types of decisions that teachers must make. We know that assessment drives the planning drives the instruction, and then you assess again. And at each one of those steps, there are decisions that must be made. So you have planning decisions, you have instructional decisions, and you have reflective decisions, as I talked about myself. Sometimes these decisions have to be made on the spot. You can't always plan 2 weeks in advance, or even sometimes a day in advance. As I said on the previous slide, that I had all planning to step right into the technology piece and right on to ethics and the law. And I realized, no, I have to make some changes here and take that massive step back. So you're constantly making decisions for your instruction based on situations in the classroom. All right, here we are back again with Danielson's domains, and we're looking at the classroom environment. There are two ways of looking at environment. One is the emotional environment, how it makes us feel, and the other is the physical environment, how it actually looks, and the two play hand in hand. Within this domain also, we see how the teacher has established that culture for learning, establishing that safe haven for the students to feel most comfortable in, where they can learn. It also goes into student behavior and managing the day. So there are many different aspects within Domain 2. All right, classroom management definitely does include managing the day, managing the classroom itself, the physical classroom, and managing the behavior. So it goes into many different aspects. Again, we want that safe haven for the students so that they are in a place that they can learn. We're back again with Charlotte Danielson's framework, looking at instruction itself and what are the elements of good instruction. Use this list of suggested teaching skills and the one that follows as you now begin your instructional steps in your lesson plan. Going into questioning skills by the teacher in a little bit more detail. Questioning is not just in terms of having the students respond to very rapid fire type low-level questions. All right. It's not just monitoring comprehension, but to get the students to really engage with the new learning. And by doing so, enabling them to connect that to prior knowledge and therefore be more apt to be saved in their long-term learning rather than something that they hear once and forget. Another big piece within questioning is wait time, and this is something that I know we've talked about before, allowing the students time to process before they're expected to respond. The longer that wait time is, the more in-depth response you probably will get. And then probing for the students to go even a little bit deeper in their thinking. I cannot stress enough the importance of teaching students to ask the questions. Questioning is not just about the teacher using varied levels of questions. him or herself, but rather encouraging the students and providing time for the students to really ask the questions. Again, that's what's going to foster long-term learning rather than just something that is quick response and simply forgotten. All right, we're back to domain 4, professional responsibilities. And as I said at the beginning, teachers now are called upon to be the most professional that they've ever been. Being able to have everything ready for their students as they basically said goodbye the other day. They'd probably be seeing them online, but again, it's so different than being able to have a face-to-face day and day after day. Teachers now are probably going through a lot of professional development to make sure that this trying time is effective learning for the students. So there are so many aspects of this domain that are in practice right now. I do need to apologize to my dogs that are playing at my feet right now. This is the assignment for the next time that we meet. We will be looking at Chapter 7, Technology and its Impact Now on our current experience. And on Wednesday, we'll look at Ethics and the Law. See if you can access the material that your cooperating teacher has put online for the students. I want you to work on your journal entries based on your completed hours and go back to your lesson plan. Many of you do need to modify your standards and learning objectives. Standards must come directly from the standards. This is not something that you make up and write yourself. You have to include the coding and the standard itself, write out the whole piece. Go into your anticipatory set, include your motivation. It could be 1 or 2 sentences, and then how you are going to get the students ready for the new learning. And lastly, your instructional set to teach the lesson. I am hoping to go on to the conferences on Canvas at 11 a.m., providing I can get this to load. I did cut down my narration tremendously, so hope to see you there.